Bem-vindos ao Muvi Almada 2019. É um prazer receber o Andy Sheppard aqui em Almada. A partir de agora será em inglês, porque o Andy, apesar de ser casado com a Sara, que é portuguesa, percebe um pouco de português, mas é em inglês a língua que vamos falar.
Fala muito mal português.
But in English...
Estou com fama.
Fome, exato.
Fome.
It's a pleasure to have you here.
It's a pleasure to be here. Man.
You have been awarded recently with a how do you call it? It's a doctor.
A doctorate, yeah,
Doctorate.
honorary
Yeah.
doctorate. So I am now officially a doctor. How are you feeling?
I think I watch it live, and I think it's.
But do I need to take your temperature? You know.
That's a Portuguese joke also. We make that joke also. It's funny. But I think it was really nice that you played for them, because it's really I think it was a bit normally this type of ceremonies are a bit like okay. Is in the room, and the congratulations, but I think more than the speech, your instrument, the saxophone, I think it was beautiful played, and it was a beautiful moment, and to see it live. And
I mean, to be honest, I was very nervous because of the gravitas, the whole ceremony involved, because it's a very important university, of course, one of the top in the world.
You're right.
And it was such an honor to receive this doctorate, Honoris Causa. I mean, I told them they must have the wrong guy, because I know nothing. Like Socrates, I say, it's better to know nothing. I'm still learning. You never stop learning.
Exactly.
So, but I was, because of the nature of the occasion, it kind of made me nervous, and I didn't know I was going to actually play the instrument. The night before, they were saying, "Are you going to play?" And I thought, nobody told me I should play, but that makes sense, because that's what I do. So that's what I did.
Yeah, you've been busy all these months, and. You're gonna depart again to the United States and to Northern Europe again, right? Just after Thursday, or?
Oh, I'm going to Amsterdam. Yeah, to be in touch with the Dutch.
Yeah,
very nice.
I miss Holland, because it's really always a nice place, and the festivals and the sound quality of they respect I think normally is good venues with decent sound, and it's
I love playing in Holland, of course, but I love playing everywhere. So, but I'm looking forward to going there this weekend, and then to go to the States will be interesting.
Sarah was telling me about that trip, because it's going to be different Tennessee, right? And
I'm going down to Tennessee.
And you've been there before?
I have, yes. And it was fine, It's a funny story about that, because this is Knoxville, and it's a very special place, and it's a festival called Big Ears Festival, and it's very eclectic and beautiful, and lots of modern contemporary music, and kind of jazz and contemporary classical music, and the festival itself is, it's not in a location where you'd expect to find that kind of music being played in a festival. So, but it's the organizer, promoter is visionary. Anyway, when I first went there, I was hanging out with Pee Wee Ellis just prior to going, and I said to Pee, I'm going to America next week, and he kind of was like, oh, okay, man. And I said, where are you going? And I said, I'm going to Tennessee, Pee Wee, and Pee Wee was James Brown's musical director until he got fired, kind of, till he quit. And but amazing saxophone player, and like the real deal, anyway, I said I was going to Tennessee, and he just took his time. He kind of looked me up and down from the floor to, he looked at me like that and said, I said, is it okay? What's it like? And he looked at me and he said, you'll be okay. You'll be all right. Meaning I'm a white guy, I'll be okay. Which was funny. And I was okay. And I'm looking forward to going back. And all these other places on that tour will be, I think, we're going to New York, which is always great. It's always great fun being in New York. And then places, I've never been to Denver. I've gone to Buffalo and Denver. I've never been there before. Washington, yeah. And Washington.
Denver seems like a really a bit isolated, even, right?
I think
in terms of
and I was told, because the other day I was hanging out with the guy who makes saxophone pieces. He was American. And he said, where are you going on this tour? And I was starting to tell him the dates, and he said, Denver. Oh, that's hot. That's up there, meaning it's elevated.
Okay.
It's above sea level.
Yeah.
Because it's the beginning of the Rocky Mountains.
That could be a problem?
For me, yeah. I hate playing at altitude. I want to be next to the ocean, because I've experienced it before playing in places like...
It's harder for you to play.
It is, man, because you need more breath, If you've ever been to... I went to Quito, which is way up there in the Andes, in Ecuador, and that was I played in. When I got to the gig, they said you'll be needing this, and they had which was fantastic. They had a bottle of oxygen with that.
Wow.
Yeah, and they said you're probably going to feel it, and I said I've already felt it. I've just walked up 2 steps, and I'm nearly dead. And then you take a solo, and of course the saxophone. And the reed feels like super hard to blow because you just don't have the air, the puff. And then, after a few choruses, you have to, like Blue Velvet kind of time, And I actually took the oxygen with me to a restaurant. She was my guest. It was a very romantic evening. With a bottle of oxygen. First course, a glass of wine in it. But I'm not sure Denver's not that high, but so it's nice to go to new places and meet new people. Of course,
yeah. And tonight you bring here a solo project. It's a different. I've seen you several times playing with normally with bands, and now it's your solo act. It's quite different from the sound check. It seemed really, of course, different from a band.
Yeah, it was always different, and I'm never entirely sure what I'm going to do until I start doing it. And it was something I developed. I did a few solo records, really, I suppose. Nocturnal Tourist was more or less a solo record, and then I did this thing about the birds. Which I and tied to that there was gigs. I wanted to play in aviaries and in zoos and things. That was always my dream, to do a gig in a zoo. Play in the zoo and put microphones in all the cages of all the animals, preferably at night when they're all going to sleep and stuff. And then start playing the music and try to wake the guys up. And then because they got microphones, so the noises of the animals will be then put.
I'm already watching a documentary for a movie.
Yeah, so especially the nocturnal, so waking up and like making their, and then reacting to improvising with the animals.
I imagine that near Cine is that Badoca Park, because it has loads of different animals, could be like quite impressive idea, right? It's with good microphones and with I think it would be awesome, yeah.
And there's a tune of mine which is a work in progress that I started 40 years ago, solo, which is called Insects in Slow Motion. It's just that I used to do lots of things where you play solo, and my manager at the time, he was the real old school manager. He was always, he said, you got to have a title for that because, you'll get royalties. I'm still waiting for the royalties, by the way. But, got to have a title for what you play, especially if it's on the radio and TV or whatever. Oh, I said, okay. And he said, so what's that called? And I said, well, it's just an improvisation. He said, give it a title. Don't tell him it's an improvisation.
Untitled number 1000.
So I thought, okay. So, and I just said, this is Insects
Insects.
in slow motion, because I always think of it, when you watch insects, there's all this stuff going on, and if you slow them down and blow them up, then it gets really scary. Behind me is a scary poster of the fly.
The fly.
Yeah, imagine, two flies copulating in slow motion. That would be an interesting movie to put music to. I've
Quite slow.
I've left the plot now. Sorry. It's because this place has a lot of history of romance.
Memories,
I can feel the romance.
Yeah. Love is in the air. Thank you so much, Andy. I think it's going to be wonderful. It's wonderful to have you here already. And thank you so much for being at Muvi once again, because you've been as a spectator, to see a movie about blues, right?
That was great, man.
Yeah.
And you know what happened in that movie that was very funny, because the blues guys, like Pee-wee. I mean, Pee-wee's has got a deep. It's an accent, I guess you call it an accent, just the way people speak. And, that particular movie was subtitled.
Yes. In Portuguese.
In Portuguese,
guess,
yeah. But so we went, and I thought, it was like, I'll understand, because it's in English, but of course then it's all these old blues guys talking. I didn't understand a word, the audience would fall about laughing because they could read the subtitle, and I was having to ask for my wife to translate. What do you say?
That's quite funny. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you so much. And you are both always welcome to Muvi, of course.
Oh.
Thank you so much.